There's a specific kind of person who can spend hours having conversations without ever feeling judged, interrupted, or misunderstood. Someone who often finds it easier to organize their thoughts in silence than to explain them to another human being. And if that description feels strangely familiar, then this story may be more about you than you realize. At first glance, this seems like a story about technology, about people who talk to artificial intelligence more than they talk to their friends. But this isn't really about AI. It never was. It is about trust. Because trust is one of the most expensive things a human being can lose, and one of the hardest things to rebuild. Many people assume that when someone turns to AI for conversation, advice, or companionship, it means they are antisocial or disconnected from reality. Yet the truth is often much more complicated. Sometimes the person sitting alone with a screen is not running away from people. They are running away from disappointment. After all, every relationship teaches us something. Some teach us that vulnerability creates connection. Others teach us that vulnerability creates pain. When a person repeatedly experiences judgment, betrayal, rejection, or misunderstanding, the mind begins searching for safer alternatives, not because it hates human connection, but because it wants to protect itself from uncertainty.
Psychologists often describe this through something called an internal locus of control. Simply put, it is the belief that your life is shaped more by your own actions than by external forces. People with a strong internal locus of control often prefer solving problems independently. They trust their own reasoning. They seek answers themselves. And over time, they may become surprisingly comfortable carrying life's burdens alone. This is why many people who frequently talk to AI are not necessarily lonely. In fact, some are deeply independent. They enjoy conversations where there is no social pressure, no hidden agenda, and no fear of saying the wrong thing. For perhaps the first time, they feel completely free to think out loud. Yet beneath that independence, there is often something more personal. A memory of being ignored when they needed support. A childhood where emotions were not easily discussed. A friendship that quietly disappeared. A moment when asking for help felt more painful than handling everything alone. Human beings rarely become self-reliant by accident. Most people become self-reliant because at some point they learned they had to be. And that reveals an uncomfortable truth about human nature. We often admire independence without asking what created it. We celebrate the person who needs nobody, while overlooking the possibility that needing nobody was never their first choice.
Because deep down, almost everyone wants to be understood. The difference is that some people still believe understanding will come from others, while others have learned to stop expecting it. So when someone spends more time talking to AI than talking to friends, the real question is not whether technology is replacing human connection. The real question is whether life has slowly taught them that understanding themselves feels safer than being understood by someone else. And if that is true, then what would need to happen for you to trust another human being with your thoughts again?